If you're waiting to feel confident before you do something that you never did before, you're going to be waiting to the day of your casket. What's up, it's Gene, this word to be great. I created a new video series called How to Be Confident. I have no idea how many videos it's going to be because I just came up with this idea. But in this first video, what we're going to talk about is how to be confident through planned behavior. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a tool that's going to help you with this. So let's get into the video. Now, there's this theory called the theory of planned behavior, and it explains how we decide to engage in a certain behavior. Now, the reason we're talking about this is because there is something you want to accomplish. I don't know what that goal is, what that dream is. You desire to see that something. But what's going to determine if you succeed or not is if you're willing to engage in the actions or behaviors that's going to allow you to do so. Now, this theory has three components to it. And I want you to pay attention to these because these components will determine if you're taking action or you have decided to not to take action. So the first of the components is your attitude towards the behavior. Now, if you have a positive or negative behavior, that's going to determine if you take action towards your dream. When I was working in the corporate world, when I had my 9-to-5 job in the cubicle, it was a job that I liked, but I knew it wasn't something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Now, I love working with the members. I love being a health coach. I love having those conversations with people every day about their wellness. But I did not like going to work, standing up from sun up to sundown, missing out opportunities to do things that I really want to do. And when I discovered that I had this gift to be able to tell stories, I had the gift to motivate, I started thinking about opportunities I could seek that will allow me to use my gift. Well, I discovered that there was a speech club I could join that would help me to build my public speaking skills. And while I was there, I found out about professional speaking. I found out about authorship. And I said to myself, you know what? I want to be able to use my voice, my creativity to build a dream, to build a business so I can live off the gifts that I have. And in that process, I had to ask myself some questions. Are the behaviors that I need to do to make this dream a reality, is it something that I feel I'm positive about? Because if I'm positive about it, I can see the benefits of going after this dream. If I'm positive about it, I can see the benefits of having my own business, using my creativity, building a life that I truly wanted. And because I saw the positive benefits, I made the leap to build my dream, and that's why I'm living it today. So when it pertains to the theory of planned behavior, you have to ask yourself, what is your attitude towards the behaviors that's going to allow you to live the dream that you have? If you have positive attitude, that means you believe in the benefits that if you go after it, you will take action. But if you have a negative attitude, meaning that you do not see the benefits of taking the action to realize that dream because you don't believe in the dream itself. This is when you have to be real with yourself. You have to ask yourself, is this dream that I want something that I truly want? Or is it something I see somebody else online doing and I'm telling myself I truly want that? Because here's the problem with that. If you do not truly believe in the benefits of taking the behaviors necessary to realize the dream, if you decide to go after it, the moment you have a setback, the moment you have a disappointment, you're not going to have the passion and the belief inside of you to persist. So if you're having a hard time going after your dream, I want you to be real with yourself about your attitude towards your behaviors to build it. 2, subjective norms. Now this one right here stops so many of us from going after things you want. See, you got something you want to do, but you probably don't realize that you have these subjective norms that have a hold on you, that make it hard for you to actually take the actions necessary to build a dream. I told you guys on a previous video about this marketing guru I met. This man was extremely talented. He built a multi-million-dollar marketing business. Now, he was a lot older than me, so when I had the opportunity to talk to him, I said, sir, What are some of the things you did to build your business? What are some of the things I need to do? And he looked at me and said, well, before you even thinking about, building a business, you need to build your mindset. And you have to be aware of subjective norms. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, I used to be a pastor of a church, and I was a pastor for many years. And I loved being a pastor of a church, but I had this marketing ability that allowed me to build not just my church, but other churches. And I said to myself, I'm a pastor, but I have to work a job on the side. I'd rather just own a business, use this marketing gift, and build something that I own. He said, but there was a problem. I had some subjective norms because other people who share my religious beliefs, they believe that you should promote God at all times. You never should promote yourself. Well, part of me building a marketing business, I had to promote myself. And when I had my face on brochures, when I had my face on advertisements, people would condemn me because they say it was blasphemy. He said, but then I wasted 10 years wanting to build this marketing company. But then I realized I had to free myself from that mindset. I had to get away from those subjective norms. So I left that church, I built a business, and now I am using my God-given gifts to market this business, provide jobs, and I'm doing what I always desired. You see, like this man, you probably in that situation. You have these subjective norms. And because of these subjective norms, people are telling you what you should and should not do. So just be real with yourself and ask yourself, what subjective norms are holding me back? Is it my religious beliefs or some other beliefs? What subjective norms have you given into or been taught that are keeping you from engaging in the behaviors necessary to build your desired success? Because if you do not free yourself from these subjective norms, there is no way you're going to build your dream. 3, your perceived behavioral control. Now, I'm going to break this down very simple so you really can relate to it. In other words, what it's saying is you want guarantees. When I first started my corporation, I was going out speaking and I was making some money and writing books and selling books. One of my family members said, Gene, I see you doing it, man. You actually out there, doing these things you say you're going to do. How can I do it? So I told her all the steps she could take. The investment she would have to make in getting coaching and mentorships, these professional speaking organizations. And it was going to be an investment of time and effort. So that's what it would take. And then she asked me a question that many of you, that you probably ask yourself every day, or you ask somebody that's doing what you want to do. She said, so what are the guarantees? And I said, there are no guarantees. If you go out and start a business, there's no guarantee that it's going to be successful. If you go out to try to be a good communicator, there's no guarantee that's going to ever happen. Or if you write a book, there's no guarantee that people are going to buy them. There's no guarantees. And because she could not see guarantees, she said, that's not good enough for me. So you know what has happened to this day? She has never ever went after that dream. See, if you're sitting back waiting for guarantees because you have a perceived behavior control, you want to control everything. You want guarantees. You want things to be perfect. You want guarantees. You want automatic success. It does not work that way. And because of your perceived behavioral control, it will keep you from engaging in the behaviors necessary to realize the dream. So let me ask you, what is your perceived behavior control? Are you looking at a dream and saying to yourself it's going to be easy? Or are you accepting the fact it's going to be difficult? Because before I left my corporate job, I accept the fact it's going to be difficult. There will be no guarantees. Now, if I would have guarantees, I would be able to predict things. I would never been able to predict a pandemic that pretty much wiped out a lot of my speaking engagements. I never would have predicted that. But that is part of the process. If you're going to do something, you have to know there will be no guarantees. And you have to plan your behavior to keep going forward despite any setbacks that you may have. This is the theory of planned behavior. So I want you to be real with yourself about your behaviors. Are the behaviors that you're engaging in, are they leading you towards your dream? Or you're not engaging in the behaviors because you don't believe it can become a reality. Now, it's something I do every week because I believe in my dream. I believe in the benefits. That's why I've been making videos for 10 years now. That's why since 2012, I've been working on my speaking dream. I've been building it. I've been building my brand because I believe in it. But I don't just do things just off the cuff. I actually engage in planned behavior. And let me show you a tool that I use. And I've been using this when I use with my coaching clients. This is my Word to Be Great self-discipline tool. And every week, now I just grab some random ones, every week I put this on my door and I come up with 3 tasks that I'm going to do. Planned behavior, because I believe in the benefits. I believe in a dream that's going to move me towards my dream more becoming a reality. And this is what this tool looks like. I guarantee you, if you use this tool allows you to come up with 3 behaviors you're going to do. And it also has a numerical effort scale. So you can actually look at your efforts at the end of the week. You can hold yourself accountable. I've been doing this for years. There are so many of these sheets, sheet after sheet. I do it every week. I've always done these. And this is what helps me stay consistent. This is what helped me to hold myself accountable. So if you would like this Word to Be Great self-discipline tool, click the link below and I will make sure you get that tool. Because this tool will help you to plan your behaviors so you can start building your desired success. Worthy ones, you are the person that has to build your dream. And the only way that's going to happen is you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the behaviors that you'll take to make it become a reality. So start planning the behaviors to realize your dream. Because you are worthy to be great. If you like this video, I want to ask you to like and share this video. Also hit that bell so anytime I post a new video, you are notified.